Hello and welcome to some pro game studying. I'm not going to call it real board lectures because that's already taken. I'm just gonna just pro game study's fine. Just pro game study. I've got no problem. Yeah. Anyway, so I was looking around on this app, the Game Records app for professional games as well as openings by professionals. Well, to be able to look at determine which games to look at based on what the opening is, and I found one with an opening that I have been having a lot of problems with lately. So as you can see, this was done in 2016, September 27th. It's the 18th Nongshim Cup. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Lee Sedol playing as black and Ichiriki Ryo as white. I do not know Ichiriki Ryo, but this might be someone that I want to look into as well. So the reason why I'm starting off again with these videos with this game is the opening, because this is an opening that at least the Fuseki, not what happens in the game, is something that I have trouble with in the game overall, and that is this. Now sometimes it's also at this point here. Okay, that is still visible. Okay, I'm doing a different layup thing. I'm trying to keep things looking nice. Yeah, that's still visible. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so I mean, there's going to be some differences between the two, but I'm kind of running low on time, so I just went ahead and went with one that was right here on the 3/4 instead of the Hoshi. So my problem with this Fuseki is, I mean, immediately I just want to split in some form or another, or if I approach, then we have some kind of pincer. And well, these are the 5 that the app gives off, but nonetheless, it's some kind of pincer and have some kind of fight, like maybe the Kaima and do the push or do the cut through and go with some variation like this, although this might be really bad for white. But that's another Joseki I need to get my head wrapped around again, but I'm not going to worry about that in this video. So nonetheless, my issue is I immediately want to just go straight into the opponents. If they did something into like a Sanrenzai, if they did something like that, I immediately want to approach or invade or something. I myself won't just back off, and by doing things like this, I end up with very little territory or just causing problems for myself. So that's one of the reasons why I'm trying to work on this Fuseki. Anyway, enough of my blabber on that. So in this game, we have the 3/4 here. At a later time, I'll look at one that has it on the Hoshi if I can find it. But we're going to look at the one with the Hoshi here. So playing high, I mean playing low, makes sense. I mean, like what I just brought up. Doing this, it could cause problems for the white group. White doesn't have a base. That stone really hurts the white group, and black has an opportunity to extend out. Now, it is possible for black to still do the pincer here, but it leaves white comfort to be able to play something like this, or if black does something like that, then still play something like that and go with a variation there, because this is still going to be it's going to be farther away than with a kind of pincer here, but with a pincer here, the corner's in trouble, and yeah. So the corner, so it nonetheless it's just harder to go against a higher stone than it is a lower stone, and playing high is something that I need to do more. I need to play more high. It's Yeah, it's something I need to work on. So keeping the corner, so black just has two solid corners. Black goes ahead and does the attachment, and we go ahead and see this variation happen in the corner. Now in the opening, like I mentioned before, I will look a few moves ahead, kind of like with what I did here, to see what they do. But when it gets closer to the end of the opening, I will stop looking and then try to test myself with the middle game, and then get back to looking at the what the Kifu is, so I don't be ranting too much. Anyway, so black has two solid corners, and as white, I mean, black does have two solid corners, but me as someone who does not like going against Moyo, I can be content with this, just like how I could be content if black did a pincer and I go for the inside. So going for a high approach, if they have the 3-4, that's going to be something I make sure to do in my own games. So black plays here. Now, I mean, most people would just play this, but this is not what happens in the game. I mean, it's slow. I mean, it's not slow. It's making shape. It's making a base, because still this allows white to still connect up. But I guess Rio just didn't want to just play Gote, so we go ahead and see the attachment here, which, I mean, I don't see why not, because I mean, it's trying to build up this side, and it's keeping Sente because it's threatening the corner as well. Whereas if white just did this, and not right now obviously, but at a later time, if black played something in here, then that attachment might be a little hard to pull off while still having the weakness there. Something. Again, I'm just going off of what's rolling in my head, trying to think. Or okay, potential. Black will have a bit more potential. White is not going to be comfortable. White is not comfortable because of this shape here. If we go ahead with this variation, white has one eye Gote here, one eye Gote there. Both being Gote, meaning white is not fully alive. Hence, I mean, I'm not saying this is bad either. I'm just trying to get my head rolling as to why white wouldn't. No, let me reword that. This is fine. I guess there's just ups and downs. Like if black does play something like this, then white is a little bit more constricted. But white does get Sente. But if this happens at a later time in the game, then it seems more profitable for black. So while this group is still uncomfortable, so I guess another way of putting it is playing lightly with this group here and going for big. But again, I could be wrong. I'm going with my thinking, because the more I think about these things in my own games, the better I should be able to play. Because speed is another thing that I have an issue with. Like playing this, I probably wouldn't play it because, I mean, leaving weaknesses. I don't like leaving weaknesses for myself. So we go ahead with this variation here. Oh, white's going to extend out. Black keeps the corner. We see the turn, but this is when black decides to ignore and allows white the Atari here, and black cuts off. So, I mean, it's a pro game. Of course, no one's gonna really know. Well, no one. There's gonna be plenty of confusion as to why this would go on in the game, but thinking. So, I mean, Okay, just looking at the corner, as white, I would say I'm okay with this result because black is almost completely surrounded. Almost completely surrounded. And there's no Moyo to worry about there. And it's roughly 12 points right there. So I'm fairly happy with that. I'm fairly happy with how that looks. However, down here, not as much. I mean, this group is light. I mean, it could be heavy very, very quickly, but but black does have two slightly weaker stones, but I mean, with an extension, black could have more room to be comfortable. But again, I'll just continue on. Yeah. Oh, I mean, we all know openings is not my best part of the game, and this isn't something that would happen in very many Kiyu games or whatnot. But maybe something will be answered with these next few moves. So a Hane, we see a cut and an extension. So is white. Okay, so white is giving up those stones. Those 3 stones. So I can only be on my knees for so long. So black gained quite a bit of potential in this corner. White's got I would say a comfortable group. I mean, there's some shape things there that black could possibly exploit at a later time. But I want to say that black just got a lot out of that. Although, oh, actually, I'll go ahead and add the next move too. Because white does have Sente to go ahead and play elsewhere. But, I mean, okay, just looking at the board itself, I mean, black does have this, like we mentioned before. Black, okay, black's only territory are these 2 corners. This one's reduced. This one has been enlarged, but this group is now connected up and should maybe do okay. And maybe Aji at a later time. Okay. Well, we'll go with that. We'll roll with that for now and see what happens later on. And maybe we'll see what the idea and the plan was at a later time. We go ahead and see an approach on the other corner. We see a pincer, which I can see as well because it's helping to possibly build this up, as well as keeping black from getting a base very easily. Now, because of this position of the pincer, white is able to do the 2-space extension, and that goes into the Joseki. Yes, it goes into this variation. And okay, that's what I was missing last time in the game that I did a little while ago. I believe I played this, which just made white stronger. So just dropping down, that was my stupid mistake. So, you know, learning Joseki in the meantime. So I don't know if there are some people who do know, but if black, I'll just mention it now. If black wants to try doing the Hane, white can punish by doing the double Hane. Black can cut, white extends. Now, black has the option of playing this. White takes the corner. If black takes, white could descend, and white would be getting rid of black's eye shape. Or if black wants the corner, black can play this way. Because of the placement of the stone, black can't cut there. if it were up here or some other kind of pincer, then this wouldn't work. Thus, why that works. So, okay, so that's there. I did not mean to throw that. Black goes down. White extends out the stone so it's not pincered. Black goes ahead with keeping the corner. Because it's Miai. It's pretty much Miai, where it's either white extend or white take the corner and black does a pincer. I believe that's the difference between the two. I mean, I know that's the difference, but this may or may not be the correct move. So don't take my word for it. So black goes ahead with the go-to of taking the corner. So black has all three corners right now. White has a lot of potential on this corner here, but it's still really open. So right now it's still looking not all that. I don't know. Evaluation, that's something I'm hoping to work on as well in these pro game studies. So black has three corners, completely surrounded except for here, so it's not going to gain more points, except for maybe endgame. This is completely surrounded except for this side, so it could potentially gain a few, but it's going to be fairly small depending on what happens. And black has a massive corner. This is, let's see, 10, 15, 20, 30, let's say 35. Let's say this is roughly 35 points in the corner. So 35, 45, and then let's say that's 15 for now. And let's just say black has 60 points. So black has 60 points. White has maybe 10 over here because of crawling underneath. And this could maybe be 50 points. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 36, 38, 40, 42, 44, 46, 48. Okay, so maybe. But the only way to be able to build that up to 50 would be to be able to build that up and not let black invade in there. Now that's going to be very highly impossible or likely not to happen. White to build that up. So where can white build up? I immediately wanted to think about playing something down here to maybe bring this out, maybe a shoulder hit, but I mean, like we mentioned before, this area, I mean, this group isn't the strongest for white. And like we mentioned before, black could build up here. Black could build up here too. But I would say it's either or. Either or. Why is my phone not charging? It should be plugged in. Oh wait, no, it's not. Okay, duh. I'm stupid. Let's plug it in really quick. Plug it in. Plug it in. There we go. Oh, my knees are falling asleep. It's been a while since I've been on my knees. Okay. So, white attaches. It's a good thing that I'm going over this game too, because white's attaching there, and being aggressive regarding keeping black from either having a base or from being able to spread out too much. This is something that I want to be able to do in my games. Not only that, but now, I mean, with that attachment, I'm liking what I'm seeing, because white's got a lot of influence too. So if white's able to extend out here, then that's all of a sudden a Moyo that white can play with. And that's just by surrounding the corner. So I should not be scared about something like this corner. Shouldn't. Shouldn't. So we go ahead and move forward. Actually, okay, at this point is where I want to work on where would they play instead. So as black, as Lee Sedol, where would I go? I want to crawl underneath and just let white get that. This isn't going to do any good either. Maybe honey on the inside. But that probably won't work either, because then white could clamp. Maybe. Because black would have to connect there. But if white does this, then it would be fighting, I guess. And that actually would not look all that happy for white, in my opinion. Unless, actually, if white extends out this way, black still has to take that. And then we're back to where we were before, where it may seem okay. Unless black takes that first, and then... yeah. So, maybe. Yeah, that was there. That was not there, 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 that was not there. So maybe not what white would want. So maybe honey on top. No, okay. Okay, that's another thing. I need to stop thinking complicated. Do not be complicated. Just be simple. Because it's too complicated, too complex of fighting variation. Maybe black doesn't want to fight. Maybe that's why black is playing simply instead of going for fighting variations like this honey above. Maybe that's why. I don't know. White does the honey inside, which I can see, because then if black plays anything else, then boom goes the corner, and that would be far too big. That would just be game over. So I can see that. Okay, so I'm supposing black's going to it. Okay, black extends up. Okay. Let's see. Let's think of, okay. Okay, I guess if black were to do that, and then black could take, and then white extend out. White's still once again strong in the center. Maybe. Oh no, that was there. I guess this is just one way of trying to... I'm trying to read this out. Trying to read it. Just backing off is just not all that pleasant, even if black does cut through. Actually, with this, white maybe just could back off. Well, let's see what white does here. What does white do? Okay, white does block. Okay, so it's not... okay, yeah, white blocks. I'm supposing black will now... I want to say black should play this, but at the same time, if black connects, then... because this just seems painful to play, but... Okay, so, okay, it wasn't just me. So, black extends out. I'm supposing white takes the stone. No, okay. Okay, I'm probably going to stop guessing at this point. Okay. So, So this is a whole fight. Fight. Black believes black will live in the corner. White believes white will manage. Okay, let's go back really quick. So black plays that. Let's come back to this. Let's say this occurs. Okay, then yeah, that's just really nice influence for white. So black didn't want white to just live. Okay. I'll go ahead and play through the rest of this. Okay, we see bamboo. I'm thinking, I mean, this is, I mean, so I'm supposing white goes ahead and white does not. Okay. Oh, actually, okay. That actually does. Okay. So, yes, that is a weakness right now. White, okay, yeah, white does play that. I'm trying to reposition myself because my feet, my legs, they're dying. So, white could just play this way. The problem with that is that now the two white stones have not as many liberties, and thus could potentially lose its Augie potential. And you always want to try to have as many liberties as you can when going about a fight, because when you have more liberties, you're able to have a higher chance of succeeding if things don't turn out so well and people get surrounded. Some of these stones are dusty. Black continues to push through. White continues to get influence and continues to push. Oh wait. There we go. It was the other way around. So it was push, white, black, white, and then push again. And push again. I mean, it does keep the stones connected, and if black got this at a later time, then yeah, okay. At the head of three stones. I'm supposing black's not gonna come back to that, so we see the Atari. Does white connect or take? That is the question. Because if white takes, then I'm supposing that is like white. I mean, it's Sente. And then white could extend out somewhere else, or come play down here, or connect, give up Sente, and maybe potentially extend out into the corner. But I'm supposing white will take. No? Okay. But hey, I got one of the variational kind of. Anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and yeah. So black ends up with Sente and gets a big move. So it's not. I mean, it's still slightly on the even side because white's getting some points here, black's getting some additional points in here. But the problem here is it's again this corner, and then it's white building up somewhere in the center. So white doesn't take because of the Augie potential of killing off the group, which makes sense. And I guess another thing too is if white takes, then there's the opportunity for black to get a ko in there, or if white fills in, the black has an extra stone in there to maybe make shape. So That could be another thing too. That could be another thing too. Okay, and then black takes big. Okay, at this point, I'm going to go ahead and go on the slightly faster side to keep from the guessing game. The guessing game is, I mean, that basically up to this point is where I want to focus on doing the guessing game. At this point, it's now me kind of, well, I mean, I'm still going to play the guessing game, but trying to, again, just figure out where the biggest things are and why. Like this move to build up that. White's only potential for more points is to build the center. Now the only issue with that is black has these two stones which help to poke at that Moyo, as well as a strong group here which can extend out nice and strongly with something here, or maybe an attachment to maybe get a few extra stones in for the center as well, and maybe bring this out as well at a later time. Maybe, because you never know what's going to happen in the game, but it's there. It's there. So with this, my reaction would be either this or play this to go into the corner, but if black does this, then the corner is more, it's safer for white, because white gets some extra stones in there. But at the same time, if black plays this now, then it could connect underneath here. But if white, I don't know, mixed feelings, because this would just be too much. That blocking that way would be too. So maybe white would play that way, play more solidly. Maybe. But nonetheless, it's making this stronger, which black would not probably want. So, like, okay, so, okay, here. To build while keeping that corner open, white extends up. Oh, okay, well, there goes my theory. So black still plays this. But, I mean, the corner, I guess, is still open. The corner's still open to maybe invade. Yeah, let's just say it's open. It's just still open. And black just wanted to make this shape and not play like this and let white get shape. Like that. Yeah. We'll go with that. Okay. Black goes diagonal. Now, that's probably to push at that side there. White goes ahead with a cut here. We see the descent here. We see... Now, this I think is mainly for the Aji of either keeping good endgame or potentially coming through in here. Either or, because if these weren't here and black got this in, then the endgame might not be as good for black. Because that cut is... Well, endgame will be better for black. I mean, obviously not right now doing that, but anyway, thinking out loud. Now, over time, I'm hoping that I will get better at this in regards to speaking. I need to get back into a habit of doing this. I need more go. I need more go. So we go ahead and see the attachment here. We're going to see, okay, we're going to see a hane and a cut. So white's trying to utilize this Aji. We see black going for the Atari, not wanting that Aji to be exploited. Okay, we see an extension, trying to build this up some more. Black's trying to push through, trying to keep that openness that white has. We see a hane, possibly trying to build up the entire possible idea, whatnot. Can't English. We see a cut here, which makes sense because now black can cut through or take the 3 stones. But, I mean, white's not going to let black take the 3 stones, right? Yeah. So we see the Atari extend and connect. But even with this is still cuttable. This is still cuttable for the white group. Because we have this, and then black has this. Actually, if black does that, white descend, and we're imagining white connected. Actually, I'll go ahead and just put a stone there. If this happened, then no, there's no Aji there. What am I thinking? There's nothing. Actually, no. I just need a few more moves in there. Black, white, black, threatening to connect. Okay, so never mind. Maybe it's just simple reducing. Maybe it's just simple reducing. Okay, white does that. We see the Atari. But white... Yeah, actually, no, I read that wrong. White extends, black plays an attachment? Okay, well, and then white plays this this Atari, completely ignoring what black did. So let's say black did continue with that, connected, and white does bamboo, and then white, if black tries doing something like that, then white's in a stronger position. That's what I'm seeing. White's in a stronger position. Extra moves in this area. So if black wants to try doing it, going around in there, white has an extra stone to go about that. And these, yeah. Something. We'll say something like that. Something like that. So. But okay, with white playing this, I'm assuming that is like white saying that's really, really big, really, really important in this game. So how is this more important than that? Oh wait, that's right, that wasn't there either. Okay, maybe endgame. Because if black did keep extending, then black could have possibly gone in here. Okay, back to this. Actually, black doesn't need to play that. No, black can continue. But okay, if this happened, if white gets a move in here, then that okay, that's what I was missing with what I was trying to see. Okay, That's just too big. That would just be game over. Okay, now I see it. Now I see it. If black wanted to try pushing through, this is just too much. Because white's just strong now. These two stones are now pointless. So that makes sense. That makes sense to me now. And this corner's going to be alive. So white could give up those two stones and still be alive in the corner in exchange for potential on this area, this side here. Now, as for black playing this, and then white playing this, maybe because now if white were to respond elsewhere, let's say white backs off, Atari connect, because taking would lead to some issues, and then extend, all of a sudden black looks okay, or potentially okay. More stones in there. Okay, we'll go with that. We'll go with that and continue on from there. So white Hanes, instead, and then black Hane. Yeah, black's gonna Hane. So with this turn, it keeps white strong and without all those weaknesses, but at the same time, it's basically fighting that. I guess I'm still somewhat, maybe it's just a mental thing. Like I want to keep this group okay, but this is bigger than this. And if we do this, this gets ruined and attacked, and who knows what's gonna happen over here. Like white could lose a lot of potential over here. So it could just be a fighting thing, a fighting decisions. You know, decisions. We see double Hane. Let's see. Triple Hane. Black's trying to get enough room to live in there. White connects. Black connects as well. White goes underneath, trying to keep black from having a base, maybe from eyes. Extend, pokes at shape, tries making shape. Tries poking at shape. Make shape. Okay, so I mean, black's not fully alive yet. Black's not fully alive. But this is damaged. So I guess in regards to territory, because white was behind, maybe the idea was that white was playing this in order to attack this because white wanted to kill it to capture the group, and by trying to respond here, maybe by attaching there, white wasn't worried about losing anything there, feeling it would live. Okay, maybe fighting choices. We see white playing that because the last move that was made was black connecting here. We see a Hane and a double Hane. We've got Atari. I'm supposing connect. Yes, connect. Atari. Extend. And that shape. I mean, with this is starting to look not all that good. Maybe poke. No? Okay. And black ignores that. Okay. At this point, I'm probably not going to understand anything else in the game. But okay, white's poking at shape. Oh. Black Atari, white extend, black takes, white Atari, and now this is really starting to become whites. Except that, okay, this group should live because that's an eye and white, well, and black can either make an eye here or here. It's a me eye. So black looks alive there. Or black can make an eye here by playing a tiger's mouth there. So black's alive there. And this is where white has to build in order to get somewhere. Okay, connect. And that's the game. The camera died. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you were able to learn something from this. And let me know what you thought about this. Let me know what you think maybe could have made this better. And I hope I will definitely continue on with this and learn more. So thank you guys, and I will see you next time. Later.